The two story editors for the current Beast Wars cartoon series that's computer generated based out of Mainframe in Vancouver, Mr. Bob Forward. And the as yet absent Larry DiTillio, which he should be coming in as soon as traffic clears up somewhere. So without further ado, here's Bob Forward.
Yeah, I was just going to let Larry handle all of this, but he's probably stuck in traffic, and I'm sure he'll be here as soon as he can. I thought I would actually show just briefly a scene from the Code of Hero when we were working on it. This is a part of the rough cut. While we were actually working on the show, what we would do, because of course there would be no sound effects, no music, but we could plug in whatever we wanted at the time, just in order to, give ourselves a feel, and it would go to Bob Buckley, who actually handled the music, and then he would get an impression of what we were thinking, and then he could adapt from that. This is, of course, not how we ended up going, and I do think he did it a much better job with his version, but we did find some music that we did keep in there for a while for the Dinobot battle sequence.
No matter how soon we get there, it's going to be way too late. You always have to see the bright side. Dinobot gets 6 breads. Enough left to him to make a toaster.
Congratulations on Code of Hero. I thought it was one of the greatest pieces of Transformers mythology I've ever seen, and one of the greatest.
Thank you. Yeah, I just was in a dealer's room shelling out $90 for an original Dinobot because I didn't have one. That was 3 very intense months with some of the greatest people I've ever worked with in my life. That entire sequence you just saw was all done by animated by one man, Walter Hosea. He was my supervising animator, and an incredible guy, incredible person to watch. I've never really, seen anybody do CGI animation before. I mean, there would be like some little squiggly lines up on the screen, and he would make obscure clicking motions with his mouse, and the next thing you knew would be Dinobot sawing Inferno in half. Yes?
Considering how big the fan following Transformers is, how much influence does that, if any, have on the show itself?
More than we'd like to admit, actually. We actually have to keep very aware of our target audience, but at the same time, you guys have been keeping us honest. Part of the thing that helped, I think, with Beast Wars was that we were so restricted that it forced us to really concentrate on the characters. We couldn't just, as they do in Reboot, just bring in a slew of them all the time. We couldn't do anything we wanted. We weren't given unlimited props budget. And as a result, Clyde Kotz, who was the production designer on the show, was forced to be very improvisational. Everything in the show is usually ripped, kit bashed together from something else. Ravaged ship was taken from the Predacon ship, and then just parts of it were scaled up, scaled down, stuck around, and re-put together. The whole thing gave, because he was constantly using pieces that had already been created for the show to create other things, like the like the Tripredacus Council, the Decepticon base. It gave the show a cohesiveness that it does not seem to actually be in things like Reboot and War Planets, which are basically everything but the kitchen sink. You know, just everything you need, somebody else designs it. And so the show does not have a feel, I mean, those shows don't have quite the feel that Beast Wars has of all coming from one culture. And I think that's why he ended up winning the Emmy. Yes, sir.
What about Hasbro? Do they have much influence on which characters you use?
They have absolute influence as you know, they basically tell us which characters we're going to use. They don't, we get to come up with the actual personalities of those characters, but the toys are chosen for us.